Dear United States.
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 I am a digital marketer.
I'm a software engineer. This has been my hobby since I was like 13. I started coding when I was 13.
I'm a musician.
I am Christian.
I consider myself a community builder.
But I also play piano.
I am a second-year business student at CU Boulder, and I am a DACA recipient or undocumented.
I grew up in Germany with an history where the United States were the good guys.
There's this raw thing about America, which is great. It's just it's just raw. It's like, not give a shit. We are who we are.
You are truly free to say anything you want.
Being American means that you go for the things that you want, that you're passionate about. And that's what's so great about America. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And that's why I love being an American.
It's truly a land of opportunity.
I used to love the fact that you could say whatever you wanted without fear of retaliation.
I went through a lot of hoops.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money. It's very hard.
So you're like finding yourself spending so much money just to get to the embassy to see if you can get a visa or not. So it's an absolutely difficult process.
It took about $15,000.
There was a lot of lawyers, lawyer fees. It cost a lot of money.
It took 12 years. This is my home. This is what I chose, and I'm solid to stay here. I'm not going anywhere.
I may not be an American paper-wise, like there's no paper saying I am, but my heart, the person I am.
I'm a little scared, to tell you the truth, of what might happen in the coming years.
But it's definitely made me nervous. It's made a lot of people nervous and angry.
I am worried about the path that the country is going to take, given the results of the election.
The election was a surprise, a very big surprise, and it's a new reality for us that we all have to come to terms with. It's very, very unexpected for me, coming from Germany, seeing a government that in some way resembles what Germany went through between 1933 and 1945. So I see warning signs, and I am definitely more wary than my fellow Americans without that cultural background.
The bigotry and the xenophobia that might become mainstream in the United States, especially if things keep going the way they have been a few days after the election.
And for the first time, I never felt so unwanted in a country that I've loved all my life. And I don't think that it was anyone's fault. My parents just wanted to keep their kids and not risk getting one of them taken away. But it seems because of that, because of something that was out of their control or my control, it seems that even though it was out of my control, it seems like that actually had the biggest impact in my life. And it was something that wasn't even anything I could control. But I've been here since I was 5 years old. I don't remember the country I came from because I grew up here, and this is the country I am from.
Time it's very nerve-wracking because I'm like right now you have Donald Trump. I don't know his policy. He's so unpredictable that I don't know if he is or his administration is going to have any effect on my application, but it very well could. So that's scary, and this is an application that would take about 3 years. So for 3 years I'm going to be like nervous every second he could be just kicking me out of the country.
Recently, I've had to tell my story a lot more about being a recipient of Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, which is an executive order by President Obama, which right now is one of the reasons why I'm fearful about my future, because it's an executive order and President-elect Donald Trump can repeal that if he wants to. It doesn't need to go through checks and balances, and that means, I don't know what that means for me. It could mean I'm not able to continue school. If I do, I'm not going to be able to get a job.
That means an entirely different thing for my future. I could possibly graduate college, but can't even use my degree because there's no way for me to work.
And it just makes it so difficult because everything I know is pretty much in America, and worst case scenario doesn't necessarily mean it happens, but if I get deported, I don't know anything about Mexico, about my home country, and I just don't think that any of this is fair.
We're now facing a government that does not embrace cultural diversity and sees the richness in different people with different backgrounds coming together and learning from each other. If anything, they want us to be more separate. They might say, okay, you can all stay here, but we want to build visible or invisible walls between people.
So I need your help, and I hope that when you see that I'm the kind of person and I'm the face that you put to when you think about immigration reform. And I hope that you'll see that the stereotypes around people who are dreamers and who have immigrant status isn't what society tells you we are. What we are people just like you who just want higher education just so that they themselves can contribute back to the country that they love.
We're not criminals. We have to go through a whole process and make sure we don't have like a criminal record, any felonies, anything like that. And all I'm trying to do is be a first-generation college graduate and set a standard and an example for my little brother and sister that are 10 and 8.
I'm also alert. I want to become active in making sure that the principles and values that the country has stood up for since its foundation are being upheld.
Also, educate, if you know about it, if you know about the situation, you know the logistics, educate other people around you. I hear so much of like, well, why don't you just get your green card? Why don't you just become a citizen? And well, it's not that easy. So if you hear something that you know isn't true, please have the confidence to speak up and educate somebody.
Do not be scared of having conversations. Muting your friends, unfriending your friends on Facebook is easy. What's difficult is to change them, their minds, to persuade them that this is wrong. You should change your opinion. And calling them assholes is not going to do that.
Listen more to the other side.
Take the time to just listen to some of these stories because everyone is different and everyone has a very, very powerful story to share.
Become more active in participating in political life, just to ensure that those values are upheld and that the rights of everybody are respected.
Know your representatives. If you disagree on an issue, call your representatives and ask them to do something for you. If you think something is really terribly wrong, go to your city council and talk about it with your local community.
Everybody should have a chance at happiness, and that's one of the founding principles of this country, no matter who they are. I mean, this country was built by immigrants, and so why should now be any different from before?
Sincerely, Klaus.
Sincerely, Manuel.
Sebastian Gregory.
Sincerely, Marco.
Sincerely, pay me.